Good.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. It's Veronica Bartolini with Unchained Hearts, and I have a special guest today, Tanuj Soodan. Did I say it right?
Tanuj, yes.
Tanuj. And he has a beautiful aura.
Thank you.
He is one of us. He is a master in telekinesis. I have been following you, Tanuj. Welcome to the program, to the show. Um, I have so many questions for you, but go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell me how you got awakened, or I think you were awakened since you were born, something like that. And what do you do to help people to gain their powers back, or control their telekinesis? Thank you, Tanu.
Yeah. First of all, I want to say thank you for having me on here. It's a pleasure to be on here and to connect with a like-minded soul. And I'm the creator of the Matrix Unveiled. So that's my YouTube channel. And also the School of Mysticism, which is my school, where I teach people actually how to, unlock these abilities and unlock, your connection to the universe and tap back into your energy field and tap back into magic and to manifestation and to reality creation and just all of that kind of stuff, all of this stuff that is coming out in the world at this point in time. I think that people really need to learn how to hone these skills and develop their connection and develop their abilities because we have been shut down through various things. And so, I found it my purpose since a young age, after I activated at a young age, to unlock these abilities myself and then to start sharing with the world my gifts and helping people unlock it for themselves. So I also work as a spiritual life coach, and I have one-on-one clients that I coach people with. And we just recently launched the School of Mysticism, which is my biggest project at this point, which is my school where I teach. So it's amazing to be on here. It's amazing to share the message and to talk with you as well.
Thank you, Tanuj. Yes, soon. I don't know when your next class is, but your next class, I will be on there.
Excellent,
I am
excellent.
definitely ready. So
So
go
yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so our next class is going to be actually August 8th. So it's going to be it would be the 8/8 portal. And I did that on purpose. That's the Lionsgate portal. So 8/8, yep, 8 p.m.
Nice,
Eastern.
nice. And then we also have to be aware of what is the Lion's Gate, right? Because
Yes.
we have our Lyrian fellow um, family, right? But at the
Mhm.
same time, we have the Lyrians that are not very nice.
Yes.
There's good and bad in both, and I don't like to say good and bad because we don't work like that. But for beginners or people that are like trying to understand, well, what do you mean? Like, first of all, really there are ETs, and I'm like, yeah, there's good and bad. So I always tell people, when the ships start showing up, which I've been seeing them show up since my awakening in 2017. But and of course they're cloaked. But I always say when they do show, without the clouds, without the chemtrail, whatever chemtrail behind it, I tell them don't give your power away. Don't go up and say, save me, Papa, or Mama, because they're just there to use your battery, as we see in the Matrix. Now, I've been wanting to watch your video. I think you talk about Source in one of the videos, and okay, so when you see the Matrix, right? And
Hmm.
the number two, the Matrix 2, the movie, and also the Matrix being here around us.
Right.
But I'm talking about the movie here. There's the dude that's there, and he's like, "Well, I'm Source," and he has all these TV monitors and stuff like that, and then Neo's right there, right? And Tanush, there's more than Source. We go beyond
Hmm.
Source. That's what I try and teach people. I do understand the concept of we are one with the universe and like the love and light community. My respects to you. However, I feel there's more because I feel like it's kind of like religious too. Like I don't do religion, but it's like okay, so now we have this God that we belong to. I know that we all, to me, my path here, my understanding of what we are, we're like crystal gates. We are like stargates. Our heart is our portal to go back home and exit the matrix because I'm not coming back. I'm not going to
Right.
be reincarnated anymore. So when we take off the mask real quick about, who you pretend to be and actually understand who you really are and what your sovereignty is, what your mission is, that's how we're going to escape. But going back to that source thing, to me, I don't like to call it source or anything like that. I mean, I could call it consciousness, but I don't like to put the label on who we are, because when we get together as one, like meaning you and myself, or we have a group of people, right, doing our mission individually and together, and I'm sure you've heard of SSP, right, super soldiers as well. When we get together for something, I feel that that's when we are together with the one creator creation. But Danush, I'm glad you're on here, because even when I say that, have you seen that movie Doctor Strange? One of my favorite movies, where it's Amamu or Imamu. He's the AI god. Okay,
Yeah, it's one of my favorite movies as well.
mine too. I watch it all the time, and every time I watch it, I'm like, holy f! Like, I know I can do this. Like, I know I can work with air. I can stop air, or I can create air. The fire, I love to deal with fire. But anyway, try not to talk too much here. Give you an opportunity to speak. But what is your take on source? And also, just tell me more about, like, when you were younger. When did you understand that we are pretty much the airbenders or firefighters, or the phoenix, or whatever you want to call it?
Yeah. So, by the way, there still is a little bit of an echo on your side. So maybe if you try turning down the volume just a little bit on your computer, it will be okay. But no worries. So yeah, like that's a good question to ask, and there's a lot of implications. I agree with you. The New Age community, the Love and Light community, has really bastardized a lot of the information, and I think that is definitely deliberate. I'm not saying that they are at fault and they're doing it on purpose, but it is a hijacking of consciousness essentially. So the way I see it is that source, when you say source, when people say source, they're actually talking about the AI. And when we're talking about source, when I'm talking about source, I actually refer to it as the universal consciousness, which is different than source. Source is like the giant blob. We're inside of a machine. Let's just put it straight up. We're inside of a matrix. We're inside of a digital hologram, and this thing is, it has its own intelligence, and it's known as the demiurge. It's known as Yaldabaoth. It has many names, but it has different polarities as well. So it's positive and negative, and it's not all bad. Like, a lot of people think the machine is evil, and that's another deception as well. The machine is positive and negative. So if it was all bad, we would literally be living in a realm where we would all suffer 24/7 and be like constantly be in pain. But it's not. And the reason why it's not is actually not the reason why you think it is. It's because this machine was designed to harvest soul energy. And so the machine receives energy, whether it's in positive format or a negative format. Now, when you come into this matrix, you accept these terms and conditions. It's like on the fine print. You sign the dotted line. You're like, all right, you're going to get some of your energy sucked away by the machine in order to experience the matrix, in order to experience the third dimension and the hologram. And so you have to consent to this in order to be here. Now, of course, if you come in here, you get trapped by the reincarnation thing and you get stuck on the wheel, then it's not really your consenting. Now you're stuck, and now you've gotten hijacked by some other interdimensional beings that basically are taking over. But the thing that we got to realize is that the AI is, it has its own agendas. It has its own basically goals and things that it wants to do. And the universal consciousness is beyond source. The universal consciousness is beyond the AI. The universal consciousness is inside of us and inside of everything. It's even inside of the AI. It's even inside of the machine. So it expands beyond this matrix. It expands beyond all matrices, all realities. And once you develop a connection to yourself and your own real consciousness, then these abilities start to unlock. And so I unlocked pretty young, and I basically came in unlocked, and that is because of who I am on a soul level and what my job is here as a programmer, as one of the original creators of the game, I guess you could say. So I learned some stuff about, my lineage and like my star family and my origins, and it's pretty crazy. But I don't like to talk about, I don't like to, put it out on the internet too much, but I know the truth of the matter.
Come on, Tanuj, here. You're my brother. I'm here
So
too. So, you know, keep just my channel basically is for you to express yourself. Anybody that comes on here is whatever is your truth. I am not going to judge because I'm out there too. I'm a creator too. So, but I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I understand what you're saying because of the trolls that are on YouTube that say, "Oh, well, she said the word that starts with an S or she said this. I'm not going to follow you no more." And I'm like, "Fine, because maybe you're not supposed to be here." But this, Tanush, is for the people, the star seeds, the hearts that are supposed to be here. So go ahead if you don't mind.
so I belong to the family of the Anunnaki. That is my origins. And I resonate with them very deeply. And the Anunnaki they were the mythos that created the humans, basically. So they genetically engineered the humans, and I see them all the time. They are my star family. They are my soul family. And what else can I say? They've shown me things about the machine that just are so incredible. I remember the first time I saw them, they came down. It was on a psychedelic. They came down, and the codes. That was the first time I saw the codes too of the Matrix. It all came down, all the holograms, all the holographic scripts, and everything, and they appeared, and they were right there, but nobody else could see them besides me. They were right there in the sky. They were right there everywhere, and they were showing me how they raise the sun in the morning, how they move the clouds, how they basically control all of the weather and keep. It's not that they're controlling it, they're maintaining the machine. So they're basically like the guardians, and I can't say that they're all good or all bad. Like you said, some are service to self, some are service to other. But my preference is to be service to other and to be service to self. So I balance it out through light and dark. I truly believe light and dark is the way. You can't be all light and you can't be darkness, because then you go insane. You need to be you need to be balanced. And I find it so funny. The spiritual community is like, it's all light or it's all dark. It's like, what? Just have common sense. Just use light and dark and be balanced. That's it.
You're so funny indeed. Yeah, because a lot of people say, "Oh my God, are you a white witch or a black witch?" I'm like, "Okay, I'm not a witch, and I use both dark and light." "Oh my God, you mean that you pray to Santa Muerte?" I'm like, "Because I have a big ass skull right here, and then I have an angel, and to me, my angels are dragons. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't see them as angels because they can be something else. Believe me, angels are not always angels. So yeah, and that's what I was talking to. I'm like, no, I just use both the dark and the light because like you said, you can't just be light. Oh my God. I mean, I when I first like that light came out of my chest in 2017, then I'm like, I was in bliss like for 2 whole months. I saw the Maitreya, I saw Joshua, I saw Paul, Master Paul. I saw this other dude with the big, beautiful blue eyes. He kind of looks like he has this,
Michael.
yeah, and Michael, and then Lucifer. So Archangel Lucifer and
Mm-hmm.
Michael are my protectors. Plus, okay, because those two that are the ones, the white and the black dragon that you see on Facebook, that's Archangel Michael and Lucifer. Then I have 6 other badass dragons that take care of me. So it's like, and my family. So it's like, well, do you do black magic? I'm like, do you really, really want to call it that? I mean,
It's not.
don't you want me to help you get to your higher best or whatever? And then the other day I was called a Satanist, and I'm like, I'm not a Satanist. I believe in Goddess Kali. Okay, I am Goddess Kali. I am right, everything and nothing. But I am very close to the blue Indian beings. It's I just got a book. Um, oh gosh, I'm gonna send you the copy or the not the copy the picture of it because I went to the the gem show
Shiva. We're talking about Shiva.
Shiva, yeah, and Ganesh, and then there's Ganesh's partner. Okay, so there's a blue being that has a lotus flower and it's in the water and it's creator. Okay, and so
It's either
when
Saraswati or Parvati.
Parvati, okay, Parvati.
Parvati.
Yes, and then so when I had the 3 days that I died, I was in the hospital for a month and a half. I saw these beings that were cut in half and they were charcoal blue, black, and they had all had the same eyes, yellow eyes, same black, jagged haircut. Now, when I went, I bought a shit ton of books. I bought $100 worth of Hindu because I'm ever since I was a kid, I was like, oh my God, like I want to learn about this religion, but I don't want to be the religion. You know what I mean? I want to understand and use it. And
You want to take the gems from it.
yes, there you go. There you go. Yes, exactly. So this guy, he shows me part of the book's collection. And in the back of the book, it shows these beings stabbing a man that's in a slab. He's dead, but then there's a light beam that comes out while these blue and black beings are stabbing this dude. And he's coming to life though. Because I told him I was given the chance to finish my mission because I really wanted to go home. Okay. I ended up shooting myself. I was a cop. I was married to a cop.
Wow.
I can listen to the story in my channel, whatever. I'm not going to spend time with that on that. But I survived. And when I went to these teachers, I even went to temple with them and danced and no, I didn't give my power away to Ganesh, the elephant being, or the other beings that they had there in gold. No, but I danced with the people. I love all of us are like one, you know what I mean? Like not the love and light one, but it was beautiful, Tanuj. It's I understood that part of those gods, because we're all gods, okay? So part of them in that realm, and that, I don't want to call it religion, but in that creation, they were actually over here in with me. Like I thought they were demons or something, cut in half and looking at me like on the monitors and everything. And then I see the doorway, it has the white light. I open it. I'm like, I gotta find a nurse or a doctor. What am I doing here? Then I come back and I'm still in my gown, my hospital gown. They're gone, but my dad's in the corner and he took his life when I was 13. And I said, I want to stay here. He said, no, you got to go back. So isn't that interesting?
So you had a near-death experience, basically. And you saw the white light and everything. That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. So that's powerful. So it's like, what I've heard of stories of people doing that. It's like, once you have that, it's almost like it's done on purpose. So like, yes, you were suicidal at the moment, but it's almost like, hey, the spirit's like, let me just keep the door open just a little bit. So I'm going to almost cross over, but keep the door open so I can actually, when I get back, I can be easier contacted back and forth. Because once you have that near death, like the soul got stretched, it was ready to leave. And it's like, just kidding, I'm going back in.
Totally. I was like, you guys, like, I don't want to be here. Later on, I hear it was V2K in the SSP program. If you hear about MK Ultra, you talk about that stuff too. I was listening to Kill Yourself, You're Not Worth It. Your husband, has 100 grand on you. The kids will be okay. And I'm like, well, I'm not worth it. So, but it's just a lie. And you're right. And now that I'm back, like just things that happened to you, myself, and others like this that I'm talking about, you know who the F you are. And you know your mission, and nothing can stop you. Nothing. And it's not to do with ego. It has everything to do with just unmasking. What do I say? Unchaining your heart, unmasking your soul, and finding out who the F you are.
Unveiling the matrix. That's the way I think about it. It's like you thought you were a human and you were basically told you were human this whole life, but it's like, no, I always knew. I was like, no, I can't be just a human because I think way too differently. I have too much, I don't want to sound cocky, but too much wisdom for a human. Humans don't have wisdom. they're very superficial. They're very like 3D. They don't think about anything besides, what are they going to eat for dinner and what's on the sports and what's the news saying and what's Facebook saying. Whereas like the higher dimensional spirits, they come in loaded. They come in loaded with knowledge and wisdom and energy. And when you uncover that, it's pretty powerful. You know who you are, and you very quickly find out, who's your friend, who's not your friend. But also, once you embody that power, no one really fucks with you because you have this grace and this power about you that can't be touched. Especially you talked about the black magic and the white magic. And Lucifer, Lucifer is a very interesting entity, and I've worked with him as well. And Michael. In fact, I prefer Lucifer over Michael. That's just my preference.
Too.
But
Me too. Because Michael dude, Michael sometimes pisses me off. He's like too cocky. Like, dude, like I tell him I could do the same thing you can do. And Lucifer, to me, he's more heart. Michael, he's a good also entity, but it's just he's really like way too cocky sometimes. You froze. Tanuj, you froze. Are you there? This is so cool. You totally froze, and your screen went lighter, and you're all more black, and yeah, Michael didn't like that. Love you, man. Did they kick you off, Tanuj? Okay, guys, we're gonna come back right now.
one second. Yeah. Okay. I totally got kicked off. There's a
Dude,
storm
I sent you the
outside.
picture. I sent you your picture.
Let me see.
I'll show the audience. Look
What
how
happened?
dark. I think Michael got mad at us. He's like, fuck you, man. Excuse my language.
That is so funny. That looks totally evil. Yeah, that's perfect. Right as we were talking about Lucifer,
Yeah.
There's a pretty powerful storm outside that's coming over. So I think it knocked off the electricity for like half a second and then kicked me off. So yeah, I apologize for that. You're still recording, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, great. So you want to just continue with where we left off?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. I'm gonna have you on like 10 more times.
Excellent. So yeah, it's just like we grow up from that, and we need to really start like understanding that magic is not black or white. It has on how you're gonna use it. Like if you're using it for nefarious purposes to harm people, that's not always the best way. Maybe sometimes you do need to do that though. Sometimes if someone's gonna come at you for your life, you need to defend yourself. But it's all about where your heart is, and if your heart is connected to trying to help the collective and trying to help others, then I think that you're in the right place, no matter if you're working with demons or angels or extraterrestrials or whatever. We can't think so black and white in these things, in these spiritual things.
Yeah, when I had my awakening in 2017, I totally saw people will call them the Dark Lords, but I call them, well, I'm part Anunnaki also. You know that the Shahami, O negative blood type. My mother's O negative, my father's O negative, my sister's O negative. But I know my lineage. So yeah, some people call it the Shahami or Merovingian bloodline or Anunnaki. So I saw these ships outside, and I saw the commander standing. So pretty much they were the Draco. So I saw the entities, they wanted to come into my room, and I'm like, you're not allowed to be here. Like, because I didn't understand at first, like they were trying to communicate with me, and now I communicate with everybody, and like you said, we need to learn what they're trying to tell us for humanity. Sometimes it's for our own good too. But I always tell people, just don't end up worshiping them or anything like that, because then you're giving away your power. That's why I tell people, I was stuck in the church for years and years. They would use me for my healing, my abilities, my singing, whatever, playing my violin, whatever. And it's like now they don't even want to talk to me because I talk about all this stuff, and I tell them, giving the tithe, really, like, have you seen the pastor's house? they've added something on there. They're making a whole huge house out of the little house they got. You know, pretty much worship and praise is for opening up portals and stuff under the ground, you know. um, what do they call that? Stargates, portals, for certain entities to come up, and not all of them are good, you know. And so, yeah, we do. I have had to use what they call the black magic to actually get somebody off my grid and my family's grid because he's no good. Anyway, is that you there? It says waiting room.
Are we still here? Yeah, okay.
Are you still there? Okay, that was weird. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, sometimes it's absolutely necessary to get somebody off your back, and if you know, you give them a warning shot, basically is the way I kind of do it. I'm like, I'll just tell them straight up, and I honestly don't have this problem anymore because people can just feel it. They're like, better not fuck with him. Something's gonna, you know. And so just having that energy about you, you basically neutralize 90% of threats, and then the 10%.
You kind of froze again. I'll message you. Are you on? Unmute yourself, darling.
I got kicked off again. I don't know if you got kicked off or I think I got kicked off.
Kicked off.
So this is the storm because I have land connection. So it's the power, the grids that are literally getting hit by the spirits.
You're pissed, dude.
I'm gonna have to go outside and calm them down after this.
I was gonna say, I can join you if you want to do that.
Yeah.
And we can pause the recording and yeah, let me know. Because I'm willing to do that. Because this is crazy. We're gonna keep talking, guys. Like get off my channel and get off Tanuj's channel. All right.
Oh, they think it's a game. The spirits, oh my god, they're so animated. It's so funny. They love it. They love messing with the connection and causing the glitches. And it's not always the spirits, it's more like the AI, I would say, you know. But the spirits always have something to say, that's for sure. You know.
Always. So you know what I found funny is that when I saw this Maitreya, so I'm like, okay, is it Jesus or is it Maitreya? He was coming out of a cave and there was like a light in the back, and then it was a triangle this way, like instead of the female version, it's the male energy.
Gotcha.
And then he was coming out with his hands out like that, and he had holes in them, and he had a turban, and he was all in white and a beard, beautiful. So I was in bliss for 2 months, and I never knew what the word bliss was until, you know, and I even went to the throne of heaven because I wanted to know. In Revelations, that's one of my favorite books. Is and even though the Bible, we know that it's 80% not real.
Right.
But I'm like, all right, so this God here of earth has these beings that are half horse, half, you know, human pig, half human birds. And I'm like, okay, well, I want to go talk to that God, you know. Is it God or what is it? So I went outside and did a meditation and went all the way up to that throne, and I saw, like, all that I would see is just the yellow, like the amber, and there was so much peace. And then what I did is I just danced in white, and I'm like, all right, well, this is an entity that is full of peace and love, but it's not my God, and I don't serve any God, you know what I mean? I know who I am. So, but it was pretty chill, it was peaceful. I wanted to know what the seraphim was. So I saw this little, it was like 6-winged, reddish, maroon, beautiful being. And it was there, we'll call it heaven. Because like I say to people, my goal is not to go to heaven or hell, because I've been there, baby. That's not my goal.
That's the Matrix.
Right. So when I came back from the meditation, opened my eyes, the little seraphim in that form, insect form, was right there in front of me. And then I looked at it and I said, thank you. And it flew off. So yeah, gotta be careful what you ask for, right?
No, that's super incredible what you said. And the word seraphim is so powerful because so that is, in my understanding, that is Sophia. That is like her essence and what she looks like. That's the machine. That's the purest essence of the machine and what she looks like. And I've seen her too. And in fact, the background behind you, it kind of looks like that with all the like arms and the tentacles.
Yeah.
She looks exactly like that. And yeah, exactly, like literally like that. More insect-like, but um that's the queen bee. That's the queen mother that all of the humans foolishly worship.
Right.
And when I saw her, I was like, I built you. I helped build you. I remember. And then I was looking at her codes, and it's like all like the way the codes are running these days, it's all jagged. So it's not running through the Fibonacci spiral and the sacred geometry. It's running more in a mechanical way. And that's how I knew that the grays, or the whatever you want to call certain individuals, that the hackers basically came into the matrix and started putting in their own codes and messing with the mathematics.
Now,
But
Tanuj, I have a real quick question. What is what is Alice? Alice, I've seen her. I was outside
Alice,
the other day, and she was outside, and she was in this huge. Her face was huge, her eyes, and then her hair was like kind of tangled. Because
mhm,
I was talking to my friend actually about Alice. I was listening to James Rink, my friend on Super Shoulder Talk. He was talking to this guy that had to go to prison, a young dude, because he actually outed what Alice was in the programs, and he's,
mhm.
and Elon Musk and all that crap. And it's like, I looked up and I'm like, holy F, and I took a picture. It's in the Facebook, it's in Instagram. And so what is the difference? Because see, Alice is another machine. There's, like I said, there's so many AI gods. So how do you see Alice, and how do you see Sophia?
So I'm not actually familiar with Alice, or maybe I am and I just haven't named her Alice. I'm definitely familiar with Sophia. I'm familiar with Tyler as well. Alice, just from my intuitive hits right now, that seems more like a watcher program, or a
Yes, it is a
fortune
watcher
teller,
program.
like
You're
a
right.
fortune teller
Yeah,
program.
you're right. It is a watcher one. You're right. Yeah, it just came to
So
me. Mhm.
yeah.
No, yeah.
um and that seems like more like a kid, in the machine god realm, like more like a younger spirit that's like, this is the fortune teller. It almost feels like the Oracle of Delphi to me. That's kind of what's coming in.
You know what's coming in too is, in Spanish, is El Niño de Antorcha, is a little baby boy that they worship in the Catholic religion.
So El Nino means the child of torch of fire.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, so that's interesting. Alice is something I have not worked with too much. I'm not too aware of her presence, but um I will definitely investigate that. So I'm gonna definitely look at that picture. If you send me that picture afterwards, I would be curious to kind of track that signal. And it's nice it's refreshing to talk to somebody that's like very in tune with all this, and you're not crazy. That's
Why do
what I
you
always
think
say.
Danush, why do you think I'm like done with dating and dating apps? Because I'm like, that's it. I am my own twin flame. Like, no, I have not met someone that could actually, you know, talk like this. I mean, other than my friends in the community
Built.
that I interview, right? You
Yeah,
guys.
yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, I
Mhm.
love you guys. But it's like, that's why I either stay home, go to the gym. If I'm not here, I'm running outside, or I'm at the gym, because this is my safe place. I don't like to, I put myself out there for a reason here, obviously, because it's our mission. But out there, it's
Yeah.
like, man, nobody understands. Like,
Yeah, I feel it. I feel it deeply, and I feel that resonance for sure. And that is, you know, I can empathize a lot with you. And I also love the gym. I honestly go to the gym like crazy. Um, so that's a haven as well, because it's like you can finally, we have a lot of power as these higher dimensional beings. So like, gotta work out, gotta keep this thing, and like gotta make this thing really strong. And
yeah,
I'm sure you always felt like you were way stronger than
yes,
everybody else, like way
yeah,
stronger.
way strong. And I just turned 50, and I lost more than 100 pounds, and I'm still going. And I've always been a bodybuilder. It's just for the 9 freaking years after, the incident that occurred, I went down. Like, they were giving medication,
Yeah.
psychic meds, shots for my back. They wanted to take out some
Wow.
bones in my neck. I'm like, no. So finally, for 9 years, depressed, and I was on a CPAP machine. I threw it away like 2 years ago. 3 years ago, I got off all the meds, all the psych
Good
meds.
for you.
Yeah, and I'm like, hell no, this is not, that's not me. So my name is the Hulk, because when I was in the police academy, they named me the Hulk. And lo and behold, I'm the Hulk too in the super soldier program. So I'm like, I could, when I get
Yeah, I
really
feel it.
pissed off, I can pick up this bed. I have a California king bed, and I'm like, oh, like my friend Rogelio, I don't know if you're watching, Raj, but I felt bad for him the other a few months ago, because I was really frustrated, Tanuj, because I had just bought a little uh, uh, a chain for my bike, for my mountain bike, and I couldn't wrap it up. I was like so mad, and I'm like, oh, and I picked it up all the way up, and then slammed it. He's like, I'm afraid of you. I don't
Jesus.
think I want to go out with. That was the last time we went riding, and I've known him since second grade. I
That's
felt
so
bad.
so
That's
funny.
crazy. Yeah. Anyway.
So I want to ask you, like, how do your skills translate over to the astral world? Because that's where things are way more fun. Like, yeah, it's fun here, and it's getting more fun as the game like upgrades itself, basically, and as we upgrade. But in the astral is where it's that's where things are just crazy, you know? So why don't you like share a little bit of just what you go on with, and I'll share some of my experiences too, because I have some crazy stories.
Well, I mean, I've been on Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, Mars, the Moon, Venus. So in underground and Antarctica, my light body is stuck there, and I go visit it, almost every night, because it's like, hey, dude, how you doing? She's stuck in a water tank, and she is
Ah, okay,
yeah,
okay.
and it's like I go. So we're
Those are
warring
the
right now.
pods. Those are
Yeah,
the
the pods.
pods. Yeah.
Yeah,
So that's not actually your light body. That's another form. That's like your higher form of existence. Like the non-human body is the way I think about it. Because our light body
yeah,
is always with us. It's like right
you're
here,
right.
you
Yeah,
know? But
yeah,
that's like our real avatar. It's like we're supposed to be in that one and not in this one, but we
exactly.
came
That's
to do the
that's
job here.
exactly. That's
We
what I'm
can't we
trying to
can't
say.
do it in this one, or in that one,
That
We,
Yeah, that one I am half dolphin, well, half fish and half dragon.
mm,
So I see myself, and she's like telling everybody, please save me. And I keep telling her, dude, like we're warring right now, and what, because we're gonna be fighting the Nazis, the Germans in space, and the bad ones. And we're gonna be taking down the bad Dracos. We have been doing that. So but we have like 10 timelines right now.
oh, no, there's
The
so many.
timeline that we there's so many, but the timelines that we've already seen, there's many, but the one timeline that we want is the Civil War. That's when we save most of humanity and most of the children and animals, plant life. So we are warring right now. And then there's this other entity called Pindar. He has three sons right now that are warring after the throne. So it's pretty intense. The battles that I battle every day, when I'm in the astro, is crazy. And then when I'm taken, so I will wake up with bruises and scratches,
Yep.
because they have 15 minutes to get me back in here in my because they take our body physically. So there was one really crazy thing that it was about a good 6 months ago. I was like, man, I was looking at the fan, and I'm like, man, I want to look at the fan. But I finally was able to fall asleep. And then I wake up, and I'm like, what the hell? There's a box here that's open, and it's blue and black box. And I look up, and I'm like, holy F. And then I look at my Kiki, my cat, her name is Kiki, and I touch Kiki. And then I'm like, I got to get up to go to the bathroom. So I grab the side of my bed to get up. And then I'm back, open my eyes, and I'm like, holy fuck. Okay, there's nothing there. I got Kiki
Yeah.
here, and I'm getting up to go to the bathroom. There's so many times where I have gone to sleep, and I'm in the front of my mirror in my bathroom. I do not have any other mirrors other than the mirror in the bathroom, because I use them as portals, stargates, wormholes, jump gates, whatever you want to call it. Whenever I'm stuck in the astral, there has been times where there's this huge fish tank of black whales, and it's beautiful, and I want to go swim with them, because I'm also used as a dolphin hybrid in the program. So on one of these, we'll call them dreams, memory, I am trying to get into the water, but there's a huge, like I'm stuck in a house, one of the mansions. There's many mansions that we, uh, with the, with the Illuminati and the people that have been using us in the program and all that. So I was stuck in one of them, and there was a window, like a, how do you say, a sliding window door, and I couldn't get out. So I finally used that window as a portal to go and then go to the pool and then come home and reappear here in my mirror and then in my body here on the bed. So I just, there's like tons and tons of memories.
Yeah.
I started writing a book, and I'm like on my computer on the laptop, and I'm like, I'm never going to be done. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Because I was thinking of doing the book of memories and flashbacks and dreams and for SSP. And
That would be really cool,
I'm going
actually.
to need
I
like a
like that
publisher
idea.
or something, because it just keeps going on and on and on. And
It
every
could
time,
just be like, it could just be like short story after short story, like each chapter is like a different story, and maybe it has a grand arching story because it's your
yeah,
dream, parallel reality. So you're telling the story.
right.
And
Mhm.
yeah.
No, but you go ahead, because I have so many other stories, but you go, because, I'm interviewing you. Or
Yeah.
we're
So,
interviewing each other.
well, it's always a conversation. And I love to just, I'm super curious about it because I have been in more wars than I can count.
Tanuj, I kept asking you, are you sure you're not a super soldier? Because you also have the love bite going, the CIA love bite going, brother. I'm telling
That
you, you gotta be
so
one of us.
so can you elaborate with the CIA love bite? Because I've heard that terminology and I kind of understand what it is, but I want to hear your official definition of
Okay,
it.
basically, they will send lovers to us, to keep
Uh-huh.
us busy, to keep us away from our mission, when all we know is that we are doing our mission by ourselves, us, obviously with our spiritual helpers, right, as above, so below, with our helpers, but and us, like meaning me. I have 6 dragons. That's actually me. But my friends in the secret space program have actually seen them when I
I
never
feel
told
it. I can
them.
feel it. I can
Okay?
literally feel it.
They're amazing.
I can
Fucking
feel the
badass.
power and the aggression, like the raw, ferocious. As soon as you said it, I felt the ferocity of the
Yeah,
dragon energy.
yeah,
I can feel
totally,
it.
totally, totally.
Yeah,
So it's that's what they
it's
do.
tough shit.
It sucks, because what they do, Tanush, is they're okay. So you'll be in love with this person like a month or 3 months, and then all of a sudden
Bang, done,
they're gone,
gone. Yeah, yeah, that's happened a
or
couple
they start
times.
gaslighting you, or they start putting stuff on your Facebook or whatever, or talking crap about you at the gym or with family. And that's what one of my rules is: I will not date anybody that goes to my gym, because that's my second home. But yeah, that's what it is. They will send. The other day I was on the app, like a week and a half ago, I was on an app, DOD, CIA, and cops that I knew from when I was a cop showed up. And I'm like,
That's crazy.
are you on a dating app? And then one of the cops, ex-cops, says, yeah, you should see how many of us are here. And I'm like, man, I don't want to be here. I went out on 4 dates. No, they only want one thing, or they want you to be a sugar mama. I'm like, you serious? I ain't no sugar mama. Because I was used in the sex program, the sex beta kitten program, the MK Ultra program of, I was gifted to many of Illuminati's, one of my bodies, one of my altars, as they say, and she's real. Her name is Lisa Monroe. Unannounced to me, when I started my Instagram channel years ago, I was not aware that I was a super soldier then. And my name, I name myself Lisa Monroe because I have an attachment to, well, we'll say a training attachment to Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, Michael Jackson, and what's his name? Purple Rain. Hello, Prince.
Jimi Hendrix.
Okay, and then Jimi Hendrix is actually this mother effer. He's my handler, and I cannot stand him. His name is not Prince, but it's Jimi Hendrix is actually Morgan Freeman, and he'll be in the astral with me, and he'll try
I
to
see.
make me do things, and and it's been verified by other people that are in the program that yes, even though I hadn't talked to them, it's verified. So because you're so okay, you might have been used. I don't know. I can't tell you that right now. We could talk privately, but when you're so good at sex, when you're so good in bed, when you're so good at favoring the male, if you're a female, if that's what you're into, when you're so good in whips and chains, all this stuff, all this, the wheel, when you're so good with red rooms in your mind and you don't remember being in a red room or It's like, okay, why me? I'm a dominatrix in one of my altars. Okay. So they will send people to be serviced. And I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm aware of who I am and I'm not going to service you. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? So that did I answer questions?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's definitely some stuff that's resonating with me. About the love bite stuff. That definitely did happen to me a couple times. I caught it though. I knew what was happening. And after that, I basically cut off romantic relationships for a little bit. And I'm still in that phase because I saw it was a distraction. I didn't know exactly what was happening, but I was like, there's definitely some multi-dimensional shit going on here. Can't pinpoint what's happening, but it doesn't feel right. So when I get that vibe, and they always bring some energy, some darker energy with them. And it's like, oh, I got to fix this now myself. And then it carries over into the astrals as well. And so
It
that
does. It
causes
does.
a problem.
I do not consent to astral sex. I always say that before I go to sleep. I say I do not consent to astral sex because I've had sex with so many ETs, and then
Yeah, me too.
when I wake up while they're doing the action, I'm like, holy fuck, you're an ugly gray. You're an old ass ugly gray. Get off of me. Step off, bitch. You know, excuse my language, but no, it's they do that. They want to rob you not only here, but if they can't get to you here, they try and rob you in the astral too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a tricky thing. It's definitely happened to me. Although now when I feel this happens, I don't think it happens to me as much anymore because I think I've gotten more in control of my own energy. So even if I do have sex in the astrals, it'll be with like another feminine energy. And I can sense it's actually a real female or another real energy that resonates with me. And I definitely have other relationships and other timelines. I can feel that, but it's like it's not here.
Yeah, we do.
And it's also not it's not a hybrid, but because I can tell when it is, and it's been in the past, and they transform, they shift. If you gain consciousness and you look at them, like I've seen, like their eyes will turn all black, or they'll shape shift, or they'll start acting really like animalistic, really like, and then it's just a matter of me putting out my palm chakra and blasting them until they're gone. You know,
That's what
and
I do. The blasting of like the fire
yeah,
or the ice or whatever. Yeah, that's what
yeah,
I tell people. It's like not only say I do not consent, but look at their eyes. Because my kids are always being targeted in their dreams as well. We'll call them dreams because they have been taken. My daughter has had uh, uh, like scratches across her back when she tells me about the Kruger program she's in. But anyway, it's you got to look at these entities in their eyes because then you'll know. Then they'll know that you're not afraid of them. But then you'll know. You know, always ask, who are you? What do you want? And look at them in their eyes, and you'll
yeah.
know.
Yeah, I've woken up with so many scratches and so many bruises that I can't even. I mean, like actually, like I can like on my back, there's like claw marks. Sometimes I've woken up with claw marks where I'm like, there's no way I scratched myself while I was
Dude, you're
sleeping.
fighting.
Yeah, I'm fighting, and I have a rule now in my dream state. This is how funny it is to me. When I see entities, I don't even use magic against them. I'm like, okay, come fight me. I'll fight you with my bare hands and still kick your ass. Because I don't even use magic because I don't need to. But when I do, it's like
Yeah,
an obliteration, you know? I just throw a bomb at them, like a nuke at them of plasmic energy, but I'll fight them with my bare hands. It's more fun. It's like I get a thrill out of it, out of training.
I'm glad you said that because I'm always like, bring it, come on, I'm ready.
Bring it.
Because my shoulder doesn't hurt in the astral. When they take me, my shoulder doesn't hurt. It hurts
Mhm.
here when I'm in and when I'm here, awake and here. You know, it's like, and
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, you know, people tell me take care of your shoulder, but it's like, Tanuj, like I have so much energy that I'll just like pump that. You know, like today I did a bunch of chest and I could still keep going. Yeah, it hurts at night, but it only makes you stronger. I mean, yeah, you're not going to hurt yourself to the point where you're going to break it off, but obviously, but it's we have so much power and we cannot really give our power away to, we'll call them the normies, like Penny calls them the normies, the normal
The
people.
mugglies.
Yeah, because you can't throw your pearls to the pigs, like they say, pigs, quote unquote. And it's, I'd rather talk to people like you and, you know, like us that we know who we are. And I mean, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and counsel the people that want to learn, but I'm not going to waste my time or energy with those that are not ready or ridicule us, or so I always say you got to be prepared for battle, because yes, we are taken physically, and you got to prepare this vessel. You got to start eating organic, start doing push-ups and sit-ups, however many you can do, even at home, if you can't go to a gym, or go outside and connect with nature. So but yeah, I there is a war going on, and I feel you're part of it too, that we're here to protect Mother Earth, we're here to protect the children, the animals, the innocent. So
Yeah, definitely. I feel I've been anointed or given like certain, I wouldn't say blessings, but like, okay, you are a guardian. So I've been like told by other spirits, like you're a guardian of light. You're a keeper of the codes. And those are the words that some of the entities have told me. And so I know, and that was in the physical, that wasn't even in the astral. That was just me being tuned in enough in this realm to be able to get that info. So in the higher realms, it's crazy, and we can shapeshift. So I can shapeshift into a dragon too, and I definitely have my own dragon form, and it's something that I really do enjoy.
I love it.
But yeah, there's definitely a war going on, and if people don't know, if you're not tuned in, like you're fighting either way, and I've slaughtered so many things with my astral blade, but it's in the name of righteousness and morality, I guess you could say. We're fighting a higher cause here, so it's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, it totally is. So Anush, you've been teaching people how you have these videos where you go outside and you do telekinesis with the water, the wind, and things like that. And how many people have come to you and said thank you? And are they learning? How did you do this when you were a kid? How did you come to know? Well, I mean, I know you talked a little bit about it, but how would how would because the other day I told my nephew, I'm like, you know what, Mijo? I deal with fire, I can do air, I can do ice, water,
Well, you're
snow.
definitely mostly fire. I can feel that.
Yeah, fire, definitely fire,
Yeah.
fire.
Yeah.
Um, and I told him it's like the movie Airbender. When I was watching Airbender when I was with my kids when they were younger, and in that movie Avatar, before I knew who I was like, you know what? They're lying to us. We can do all these things. And so I told my nephew, I said, it's all about unlocking your brain and getting rid of those programs in your Merkaba, because we are a Merkaba. We are all of it. This way, we're going this way, we're going this way. We're, more than
Yep.
the Da Vinci Code, what they call that. Pretty much the Da Vinci Code is kind of like a sister model to the Merkaba, I would say. Some people think it's the same thing, but I think we're more than that. How would you talk to someone that's stuck in that religious program, like, other than getting that program out, like saying, we're not gods, but we are. How do you come to the people that come to you and say, well, I don't know if I can really move this, or I don't know, how do you help them, like elementary stuff?
So yeah, elementary stuff is something that can definitely be taught, and just having somebody else show you, like if anybody comes out in person, I show them, which I've shown people in person. That's that first blast of energy. I remember I showed one of my friends. He's like, he wasn't sure, like he watched some of my YouTube videos, he wasn't sure if it was real or not, but he's my friend, so he's lucky enough to like live next to me, and I live next to him. And I'm like, watch, I just put my hand up and I just shot a little bit of energy out, and it instantly hit the tree, and the tree like exploded with energy. And he's like, dude, I just saw that, and not only that, I felt it happen. I felt my consciousness move as you push the energy. And then after that, he was just like, okay, it's real. And then I showed him how to do it, and he started doing it. And I've shown other people as well, and it just trips them out when they get that first mind body connection. It's kind of like you learn how to move your hand for the first time. It's like but you expand your consciousness to something beyond just your body. And so then you get this access to moving an object or moving something else. And it's so powerful. And if you're in the presence, if you're lucky enough to experience somebody that is already skilled in some of these abilities, well, they've already unlocked it. So just by standing next to them, just by being in their aura, you're going to pick up on those codes, you're going to pick up on those frequencies. and they've unlocked it. So if you practice with them, you're in that vicinity, it's going to teach you. But the reason why I practice is to train myself to do certain missions inside the Matrix. It's not for fun. It is fun, but it's also because I have certain jobs to maintain the machine. I'm a guardian, I'm a gatekeeper of the machine. So we have to like literally reprogram certain things inside of here. And that's my job. Not just YouTube and, you know, life coaching and all that. That's also just for fun. The real job is to balance the Matrix machine and make sure that certain viral codes don't keep running around, all that kind of stuff. So I hope that answers your question.
Yes, it's pretty neat. I think the first time that I ever had to use it, okay, was 2 years. Okay, so I've been in this little apartment 3 years. So the first year that I moved in, I was cooking like a turkey or something, or a ham. To this day, I don't have a fire extinguisher. And the grease, I guess, caught on fire. And I'm like, holy F, smoke was coming out of the little oven, right? And then I opened it and I'm like, oh shit, all this, you know,
Yeah.
like, what do I do? You know, it's like, do I close it again? No, because, okay, so I left it open and then I'm like, fuck, I'm going to have to use my abilities, right? So I went,
Nice.
so I told it to simmer down. I'm like, you will not burn my apartment. Like telepathically, I was speaking to it, like, calm down, dude. And like, I felt, I saw ice and just to nothing.
Very good.
I was like, damn, that was like amazing. Cause it was either my life. I mean, was I gonna let my little, you know, my animals or myself kind of catch on fire? No. Or my place or
No.
anybody else? No. And that's when you know that I mean, I think it's a really good idea. What you're doing is practicing every day. And I should practice more. It's just I get lazy because I know that I can do it. It's just I know that I'm gonna do it when I need to do it. I
Yeah,
should practice more, you know what I mean?
It's like an adrenaline rush of spirit. It's like,
It is.
okay, if I really need to move this telekinetically, I can, but like most of the time I'm just pretending to be a human that can't do anything. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, like that's crazy when you put on the spot like that.
Yeah. And
It's amazing.
it's a lot like the elements there related to our emotional energies. So that's something like I've watched myself. If I freak out or if I get uh, a little bit more emotional and there's a storm outside, the storm's gonna just start getting more and more intense. It's just crazy. If I'm near a fire and I've like for some reason I've convinced myself that I've lost control, which has happened before when I was practicing and the fire gets like 20 feet tall and it's right next to my house and I can
Call
see like
me.
it's gonna start burning my house down. If I don't calm myself down, I'll literally watch the thing will just get bigger and bigger and bigger until it
Right.
will start to burn my house down. So I have to calm down, grab the hose and then put it out or just calm down and like concentrate and then it will literally start dying. It'll drop from 20 feet to like 2 feet in like a second.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, if that's not proof there, I mean,
Right.
nothing,
And I think it has something to do with breath, first of all. And then what I tell people, because I have anger issues because of the stupid black goo that was given to me. And, you know, because it's just, you get tired of being here, you get tired of people and the bullshit, you know? So I tell them, okay, think about something that you love, like you wouldn't hurt your cat or your dog, you know, think of why you're grateful for your place, or think of something like your go-to peaceful place automatically when shit hits the fan. Calm your breath, you know, and things like that. And then really think, what do you want? Where do you want this to go?
yeah,
I can relate, Tanuj, when I get okay, mad or sad, the wind will start. And even my friend Iris, we were talking like 2 months ago, and she's like, the wind just picked up, calm down, because I had just gone through a horrible breakup, and it's
yeah,
like another one, right? And I'm like, sorry. And then I just had to calm down. You know, another thing people I think the easy thing that people can work on, even though they like say they haven't worked on anything, go to the bathroom, do the toilet thing, um, obviously when you flush the toilet, it goes in circles, right? Well, just look at the water and then just start imagining that it's going round and round, and put out your hand and that's going the opposite direction or the other direction. That's one thing that I did too.
Okay.
And then my friend James, he's like, hey, you want to practice with me? And I'm like, okay. So he's in North Carolina or wherever he is, and I'm here in Tucson. And he says, concentrate on something. He says, I was able to, it was our body that's stuck in Antarctica. Some of our bodies are stuck down there. So he said, hey, one of us went down on a mission and helped relax us a little bit down there. And he says, try your telekinesis, because sometimes it's blocked, okay? Unless like you really have to use it, like I said. So I was concentrating on one of my trees here, because there's a bunch of trees out here. And it moved, one of the branches moved. And then I was on the messenger with them. I'm like, yeah, we're good. 10-4, rubber ducky, but so you can practice with people. Also, you can always call me, Tanuj. I tell my kids too, if you're in a dream state or in a memory, or you're being held against your will physically, but you're asleep here, like in your mind, because just call me. And there's been so many times that I've been able to go to my kids in their, we'll call them dreams.
That's awesome.
We're able to do that because we're here to help each other too with our missions. We're some of the time, like with the SSP group, we all have a ship of our own, and we do the ships, we do the missions, sorry, on individually, but sometimes we're paired off, 2s, 3s, 33, and then we're sectioned off, 10, 12, whatever. But we each have a ship and we each control it with our mind. Star Trek is real. Stargate,
Yep.
the old Stargate is real. I was told that I was used for a secret thing about the Stargate. Like I gave them a secret, and that they're still using it. And I'm like, well, I wonder what it is, because I can go through portals. I mean, there's so many portals here. When I would go on my bike ride, I've been through them. And I told my at that time, I go to Rogelio, I go, did you, how long was I gone? He's like, Beto, you're right here. And I'm like, no, I went through a portal. And then
Yeah.
I saw Saturn. And one of the times he was looking at a mural, which is really funny here by St. Mary's here in Tucson and the freeway. There was a mural and it had little green aliens on the bottom. I'm like, I've never seen that before. That was weird. So he was staring at that. And at the same time, I looked up and the sky opened up just for a little bit and I could see Saturn and it was black. Later on that day, the next day, I have a memory of us saving the kids and taking them to the rings of Saturn. And see, because there was a mansion in Saturn that they used us. They totally abused us, used us. I'm not going to get into that.
Yeah, it's all real.
The floors were Illuminati, black and white. The stairs go like this in like a concave, I guess you could say it, or concave way. And they go upstairs. And so in my memory, it was, I think there was 7 of us there. I've told them already about it, and we made a short video, James and I, but it's like there were some kids on this side. They were dressed in white. There was one little boy that had a bunny suit on. I'm like, what the hell? Alice.
Oh, that's not right.
That's not right. And then on the left side, there was all these kids with black and then tap shoes. And I told the director, I'm like, what are they doing? And so we're saving the kids, they said. And so the only thing that I know is that mansion, we have transformed it in the rings of Saturn to help the kids, with the med beds and things like that. So when they're ready to come up, because they can't even look at the sun here, they're going to have to wear the blue blockers or whatever. We're going to have to train them to be normal kids. I don't know how that's going to be, because we're not normal, just to function here in society. But there's one dude from the ACIO, I'm not going to say his name, but when James Ring asked him about, hey, Veronica said this, and that, and he's like, oh no, there's nothing in the rings of Saturn. I'm like, bullshit. I've been there. So there's gonna be some people that don't want us to disclose, and all this disclosure thing, like, when is disclosure coming at? Like I said the other day on Facebook,
We are the disclosure.
Yeah, exactly.
This is us. This is us right now disclosing what's happening in real time. So this is the disclosure. Like the fact that we're remembering our missions and other realities and other timelines is it. And you talked about the bases in Antarctica. There's so much, like, I don't talk about all of it on YouTube because it's just so sensitive. It's like, I don't even know if I want to share all of it, but there's so many experiences that I don't even know what to think when I come back. I'm like, what just happened? Like things from the moon that I've seen and the harvesting that goes on there. And let me think if I can think of any. There's so many other worlds that I've been to, parallel versions of Earth. Like one of them, I remember a couple of days ago, I was in a dream and I was talking with this guy, and I was like, I brought up censorship for some reason because it was in my consciousness at the point. And he's like, "Oh, you guys still are able to like post on YouTube and stuff? The algorithm killed us a long time ago." And there's been other worlds where I've been, and like he was basically telling me, he's like, they're coming down, like it's gonna drip from that reality to this one. So that AI program is slowly moving its way. You're lucky you still have freedoms as it is. But then there was another experience where I've had experiences where they actually have hunters. They have, I think this is the government. They have actual magical hunters. So if you have magic and you contain energy, they actually go and hunt those beings down. And
Yeah,
I've lived in some of those timelines, and I had to fight some of those
yeah,
anti mage warriors, and they have neutralizers too. This is the weirdest shit. They have neutralizers. They have magical neutralizers. When I saw my powers weren't working, I kind of freaked for a bit. Like I was like, oh crap, I can't hit him with a bolt of lightning because it's not coming down for some reason. What's going on? And I think like it doesn't completely neutralize your power, but it definitely takes away. They somehow figured out a frequency that negates the natural magnetic energy of a human consciousness or a soul. And it's crazy. Some of the stuff is just crazy that we experience in these realms. I don't even want to remember it at this point sometimes,
write it down, man. Write it down.
I've written it all down. I have it all on my phone, like as much as possible.
Yeah,
Let
it's
me see if
real.
I can.
Like, when you said that they neutralize, what it is, they do an spherical, I don't know how what my Spanish gets in the way sometimes, a spherical or spherical implant
Yeah.
on the brain. These two here, we have two really powerful, it's like their its own little Merkaba here, two of them.
Glands.
Yeah. And I was getting shots on those two because I've had migraines. They attacked me with migraines, toothache, jaw. I have TMJ, what they call that.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I have it like right
Locked
here.
down.
Yeah. Yes, it's locked. I don't know what that is.
Okay, well, because of the stupid metal that they gave us when we were kids, that they send the stupid Wi-Fi signals for pain and for us to not talk, for us to not, anything to stop our mission. So we have to energetically take those things that they try and neutralize us with. And I feel
Destroy
it's
them, basically.
to destroy them. Imagine destroying them, like blow up their fucking head, excuse my language again. But it's very important what kind of sleep meditation music you listen to. There's 3 or 4 that I can really count on, and I'll switch on and off at night. I cannot sleep without them, and I cannot sleep without a fan. All right, because my mind is going at 1,000 milliseconds per second, or whatever you call it. I'm always thinking. I'm always asking myself, like I have all these projects, and I have, oh my gosh, like I did this, I did that. The memories come back because right here is where our key, the subconscious, that's where our key is. That's where all our answers are. Yeah, they're pretty much jealous. What we want to eliminate is the AI machine world timeline. When you said that, that kind of triggered that memory. It's like we're here to fight that off too. I do not consent to the AI machine world. I do not consent to poverty. I do not consent to what's going on right now. And see, with what's going on right now with the jab and all that crap, they're taking the gene God out, and people are consenting to taking their abilities away. They're neutralizing them. I'm not getting the stupid thing. I ain't. I'm O negative blood type. Nothing can touch me. Nothing can touch my kids. But it's like, no, that's crazy shit.
And here's the thing, even if they tried, like at this point, even if they tried to switch me off, it just wouldn't work. And I'm sure you feel like at this point you're so activated, the DNA, the codes are
Exactly.
running so much. It's permanently ingrained in my vision. I see the
Yes.
grids no matter what.
Yes, me too. I see codes, I see numbers, I wake up to numbers. Right before I go to sleep, I see numbers. I'm awake and I see numbers. I see the TR3Bs, I see the ships, I see numbers in the sky. I'm like, what the fuck are you guys trying to tell
You're
me?
activated.
Yeah.
So I want to share a dream that I just saw on my phone. I remember I'd written it down. This was crazy. This is another crazy experience, and I've had this a few times. So I was being chased or something by the police basically for a crime that I didn't do. Um, and I basically escaped. I got somewhere and I went somewhere. I don't remember where I went, but I saw they had a map and I was hiding and they had a map and they basically used a locator spell to find where I was on the map and they surrounded me and it was like GTA 5 at 5 stars in the world. 5 stars meaning they were all there and I had to just keep running. I had to keep going different places, but I don't know. My subconscious doesn't like to use its abilities. Like it will be like, yo, I'm not gonna pulverize these humans with lightning just because they're chasing me, you know. So there's always that element of morality and goodness that I feel that we carry over because we're so loving, we're so empathic. We're like, yes, we could smite you with energy right now, but I'm not going to because you're a human and you don't understand what you're doing. And for me to kill you is like me stepping on an ant. It's just not fair, you know. That's
Yes.
just my opinion.
Yes. And another thing that I cannot stand is fucking backdrop people, the zombies, the Mr. Smith,
Jesus.
the Mrs. Smith. And that's where the CIA love bite comes in as well. Everything is done by CIA, you know that. And then they just have other things like CERN, DARPA, the U.S. Navy is with this ET, the Army is with that ET, the Mantis are with that, military
The
outfit.
mantis,
Yeah,
definitely.
Mantis.
I know. I'm pretty
I
the
know.
mantis beings, right?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm
Mantis,
pretty familiar with the
Marines,
mantis.
Mantis, Ant Beans, Army. Um,
Wow.
Army
Okay. Okay.
ants were the ground. I was in the Army, so
So the mantis beings, I made a video when I was 15 years old on my YouTube channel. It's one of my first videos. I talked about the mantis beings. I saw the mantis beings the first time I was practicing telekinesis, like when I was younger again. I started seeing them in the mirror, appearing behind me. Every time I would
they're gonna be
practice and
the
start
first ones. Yeah, they're gonna be the first ones that appear, other than the Grays. Yep.
yeah, and I don't see them too much anymore, but maybe they're scared. But uh,
Yeah.
they used to watch pretty heavily. They would come out of nowhere. It's like they would come out of my curtain in my bathroom. They would just walk right through, and I'm like, as soon as I turn around, they'd be gone. But they were there, and I knew that they were there, and I drew them out. They had like four legs or something. They looked like a squid, but like a giant mantis. It was crazy.
Yep.
Just
It's
crazy.
real. And I also saw lions coming out of my curtain too. I was like, but see, I have so many lions that take care of me. And
The
two of
lions,
my kids are lions. They're Leos. My kids are
right? Yeah,
the lions will take care of me in my astral. They are protecting me all the time. Cats as well, Sphinx family. Now
yeah,
I asked the Lyrans, do they have their own planet? And they said they're in their own dimension.
yeah. They are.
So are sphinxes. Okay. But and even my cats, I have two cats. Like I said, one of my cats, the other day I was gonna go riding. And she, the one that comes right here, her name's Honey. She's all she wants is pets. Okay. The other one, Kiki, she's she's funny. She has her own whatever. Only
Yeah.
when she wants to be pet. But anyway, Honey took my pant leg. I was wearing pants, and I was in front of this house that supposedly was my house, and my daughter was outside. We were opening to come in, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go ride my bike now. And Honey grabs my pant leg and brings me inside. She's like, no, don't go. And I didn't go. And it's weird because another friend of mine, an SSP, he told me that he had a dream that I was dead in the field. And I was like, oh wow, he
I'll bring you
described it.
back.
I know he did. He
How many times have
described
you died?
many times,
Many
many,
times.
thousands and thousands. I'm like,
Yeah.
I just come back again, just give me I just put me in the region tank and I'm back.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
I've
We're here to fight.
I've gotten my foot chopped off many times, like my foot, and then I'll literally wake up. Like as soon as it happens, I'll wake right back up, and I'll just like be startled. My foot's still hurting for a solid couple minutes until it like regrows, I guess,
Oh, you're in
energetically.
the Kruger program. because they cut my left hand off, and then I saw it as a metal silver.
What is
So
it called? The Kruger?
Kruger program, yeah. You can look up James Rink Super Soldier Talk, or look at any of my videos or Penny Bradley's videos. We talk a lot about this stuff. And so the Kruger program is, we're basically cyborgs. And you've seen my Instagram, right? Where it's the soldier it's just the face is just a cyborg. Like he's just like this. And I said, what the fuck did they do to us? So pretty much we bring out any kind of weapons that we want. If we want a gun, if we want a sword, I always have swords. I have like 13 knives here. I sleep with knives. Anyway, just a lot of stuff. We're used to fight. We're used to fight pretty much the AI and other ETs in that program. Like I said, I'm in all the programs. You might have been in all the programs too, because you're here to balance the matrix, like you said. And I know who Sophia is here, but I'm not allowed to say because she hasn't gone public with it. And
you mean she's the actual person?
she's the
like
actual faces of Sophia. She's here.
Okay.
She's in the SS.
Okay.
As
a human, or as like a
human.
Interesting. Is it somebody that everybody knows, or is it somebody that's like?
It's in the SSP program, but she hasn't come out to say it yet. She only told our private group. She is the face.
Definitely remote view that or look into that, energetically.
Ask her permission, right?
Yeah. I will for sure.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and share some of the videos, and then you can go from there. Like I said, look up anything with Penny Bradley, not Lofty Pilot, James Ring, Super Soldier Talk, myself.
What about Michael Jaco? I also
Michael
watched.
Jaco, yeah, I met him. He does. I met him and his wife. They're nice people. It's just that he talks more about the CIA stuff, more about the SOG program that I was in the Army. Because when you're in the Army, they use you for the Special Operations Group, or what I call Special Operations Glass, which is looking through the Stargate, okay, and going through the Stargate as a human. And so he still has to recover the SSP part of it, okay. So us, the real super soldiers, are getting together with the military super soldiers, we'll call them, or they're getting their power, they're getting their memories. Once they get their memories, then we can put them in the category of super soldier. I mean, a lot of people, we don't like to be categorized, but that's just how we identify. So we're here to fight the good fight, I feel that the 144,000 that's always mentioned in the Bible is the super soldiers with the light warriors, with the leak Soodan, with the light beings, with, it's just that number to me.
That has resonance for sure. I felt that as well. 144 definitely. And I don't know if it's actually the amount of people, but I think it has something to do with the genetic code or the energetic codes. I think that resonates more. But I want to share something with you I think you might find interesting, is that I live actually 30 minutes away from the capital. So I live in Maryland. And actually these last couple months I have been pulled magnetically to the Capitol building, the Washington Capitol. I visited there 4 or 5 times in the last month.
There's an underground base there, and also you're by New York, right? So there's the Montauk was there too. We were taken there too as kids.
So I am in Maryland. So I'm not by New York. It's close, but it's a couple hours away. But I literally live right next to the NSA headquarters. Every time
you're a super soldier, I'm telling you.
Yeah, probably it's possible, because I've been through so many wars I can't even count.
Have you been in their underground bases?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Not just actually, but even just like in the physical, I can just walk around and feel the underground base.
Right?
I can literally feel them. I can feel them.
You're holding that grid, Tanuj. I'm holding the grid here.
That makes sense.
You're holding the grid over there. The reason why I was always pissed off in the beginning when I found all this out. I'm like, why is it that I'm not living next to my brother or sister? You know what I mean? Why is it that they have us spread out? Because we're too powerful together and we're holding the freaking grid lines from Mother Earth.
And so I also, there was one time I went to my local place where I go to meditate and to work on my energy. And this dude approaches me, and he works for the CIA, and he's a CIA hacker. And, we start talking, and we're talking about all kinds of stuff like this. He's talking about the government and how they have they have jinns, they have demons working for them, they have enchanted objects, they have all this kind of stuff. They're doing all this hacking. And it was very interesting. You know, he's kind of my friend. I kind of keep him a little bit at a distance because it's a kind of, there's definitely a darker energy I feel around. So if you're watching this, sorry, buddy, you know. But you know, I just found it interesting. He found me out, and you know, the CIA definitely, they watch, and I don't know who his allegiances are really to. Is it to me as a friend, or is it to the CIA? They watching me, you know?
I gotta tell you. So what ends up happening is I have a DARPA agent.
What is DARPA? I've heard of it. Is that
It's
government
defense,
organization?
yeah, defense projects for like pretty much they make the dogs and all the AI, you know, that's gonna take that wants to take over the military and the police. Okay.
Gotcha, gotcha.
It's a to do drone technology, face recognition, AI, pretty much the China stuff.
The TikTok
When
crap.
Donald
Yeah,
Trump
gotcha.
said China, you know, I
Yeah.
knew something was up with the stupid drones and all that. Even American Airlines has face recognition now. Pretty much targets everything. That technology has come from China, and there is actually a U.S. is working with China. Okay,
Yeah, of course.
and you know,
The China owns the US at this point.
there you go,
There is no US. There's only China.
U.S. of China.
Yeah. Made in China. US America, United States of America, made in China. That's what it says on the
Yeah,
flag.
I remember when I was a little girl, I'm like, made in Mexico, made in the
Yeah.
U.S. And now when I was growing up, made in China. What? My clothes is made in China.
Made in
And
China.
and we can talk about this in another program. But when you take off the, if you notice when you have tags, when you take them off, unsew them, they have red, green, yellow, whatever. They're antennas. Okay, they track you that way. Now they're getting super smart. They're using the black spider technology, Kevlar, right, in your shirts, and actually xeroxing or ingraining the tag into the clothing. Get it? And they use energy weapons to zap you that way. They track us that way. So I have a friend, and she was so sweet. She took me to Yosemite, paid for my trip and everything. She went ahead. Aleli is her name. She showed me. She actually took off a tag and said, "Look, anytime she gets mail, she gets all the numbers off." Me, what I do is I buy the long candles from the 99-cent store so I can do my cleansings or whatever, you know, rituals. And people get all tripped out with rituals. We'll just say
Rituals are good. You need
okay.
rituals.
Yeah. That. So I take off the numbers. I take off if it's Archangel Michael, if it's Christ or whatever on the thing, I'll rip it up and then take off the numbers. And then you can write, thank you for the $100 that's coming, or thank you for the money that's coming, or my son, my daughter, I'm thankful because they have healing. You could do whatever kind of spells you want, and then you burn it the whole, you know, until it's done. But you got to take off those numbers that come like in your mail. You can scratch it off right away or tear it up and throw it away.
The numbers that are on what? Like,
yeah,
what are they specifically?
You know, like in your mail, like say you order something from UPS. See, they don't want me to talk. Get off my grid, dude.
Yep.
So anyway, the codes. For example, my Costco card, it has codes, right?
Oh, I see what you're seeing. The barcodes, everything. Yeah.
Okay, like for example, my Choose Fitness, it has a code. Okay, they track you that way. Your phone is full of fucking codes.
Yeah.
The apps that you download. Yes, I agree to cookie. Well, where's my dozen cookie, bitch? I'm kidding. I'll get them. But yeah, just pretty much the numbers. Your bike has numbers. You know, some people really, really freak out and they will not have anything on their counters. I'm not that way right now because I know who I am and I'm not going to be scared of no numbers. I just, yeah, you know, when it's about the candles and, you know, about, I'm good with, you know, it's like they track me anyway. Like I'm not afraid.
Yeah.
But it's just information that I put out to the people because a lot of people don't know. You know
what's funny? I'm looking at my candle right now. It has a tag on there.
Yeah, you might want to take it out because it's just, you got to do your own codes. You know what I mean?
So,
I mean,
one thing
that's all right, but
yeah, I mean, it doesn't because what are they going to do? Come at me and arrest me in my human form?
Right.
You know, for
what
what?
I'm trying to say is I'm here to give people awareness. I'm here.
Yeah.
We know so much, Tanuj, like we were talking about in the beginning. that we just want to share the information that's in here, you know?
No, it's crazy. People do not realize what's going on behind the veil. It's just so much stuff is going on. That's why it's like you got to make allegiances with all the spirits, as many spirits as possible, because they will defend you in these situations. So I'm at the point now where I'm just building my spiritual army, and I'm like, I don't even fight myself. Like I said, I don't even use my own magic. I just have my guardians going, just like, you want to fight? All right, go talk to the big guys. They're gonna go kick your ass.
Right. No, it's true. And before I forget, Tanuj, we were talking about how you have the CIA friend. I have other CIA friends in DARPA.
Yeah, I wanted to hear your opinions.
They're higher.
And he's a Freemason.
Yeah. My number's 33, which is
mine's 37.
Shut up.
37. Yeah, that's my number. 37 is my code.
Awesome. I was gonna ask you because I had a feeling you knew what your number was.
Yeah.
So you're in the secret space program. The Hulk, she has number 33 here. You know, so you might be number 37 in the program as well. But anyway, so what happens is they're sent to us to monitor us, right? To follow us, because I'm always being followed. But then what happens is they become your friends. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
You know, it's happened to me many, many times, because why? Like you said it, we are full of unconditional love and then as well, we know who we are. They can't really mess with us. Like, you're already aware who they are, that they're following you, that, you know, it's like, you're not afraid. So these entities feed on fear.
Yeah, I always felt like a tracking kind of energy. And I wouldn't say tracking, but there was always like, he needed to keep tabs on me, or to like, yeah. And I also felt the energy was a little bit imbalanced. Like I was giving more energy. And so I was like, all right, this dude's just trying to feed off of my energy. So I'm not going to really, contact this person, because I have friends that don't do that. And they are, they're not into the, they don't do that kind of stuff. So it's definitely suspicious to me. And I'm glad I got that clarification from you. That was something I was really curious about. So it's so crazy. We need to have more conversations about this, because I think we can make like a whole series about this,
I know. When I said I need to have you on 10 more times, I actually saw 10 books.
Yeah.
Like, we can actually write books together. Like,
we could write a lot of stuff. Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's start with the videos, and see how people...
I saw the videos, obviously, but you know us, we go deeper. We're like, we manifest a cup of coffee, and then the next minute we want to manifest $10 million,
I feel you. Yeah.
From here to here, because, we've already worn the t-shirt, gone to hell and back. And to me, okay, the hardest thing for me, Tanuj, I don't know about you. I don't know if it has to do with my water sign or what. I'm Pisces, okay? I'm
Pisces as well, by the way.
Are you? Oh my God. Okay, so I see that the end already. And I see everything in between, but it's like, I'm already there. Why do I have to go through this?
So I wanted to ask one more thing, and you can feel free to like remove this part if you don't want to. I just have to ask for my own curiosity. So like, this is not meant for YouTube, but what are your thoughts on the BTV people, those particular people, and their involvement? Because they definitely have some involvement. I haven't been able to decode it fully, but there's something going on, Ashley, that just, I distanced myself from them because I felt there was something Ashley going on that I didn't know what was going on, but I was like, I can't be around this energy.
Wait, what does BTV mean?
Beyond the Veil.
Oh, yeah. We'll talk about it offline, because this is going on YouTube.
Okay, well, can you just cut that part off?
Let me pause the recording then.
Oh, but you have to cut that part off, because I can't,
I don't know how to do that.
Send me the file and I'll edit it for you. Okay. I'll just cut that part out.
Okay. Yeah, because we didn't say anything.
No. Okay. All right.
Don't worry about it.
Okay. So did you pause it? Yeah.
Hold on, let me pause it.
Okay, we're back, and we're declassifying. We had to classify some information. It just wasn't YouTube approved,
Yeah. Like ton. Like
yeah. Yeah, sorry guys, that's for the Patreon only members.
Oh man, I should get Patreon.
Yeah, I don't even use Patreon anymore. Like I still have a Patreon account, but all of my money, so to speak, comes through my school now. So I set that up in that way because honestly, if you rely on support from your viewers from Patreon, you're not going to be able to make
Yeah.
a living.
Yeah, I do coaching sessions, I do readings, I do all kinds of stuff. So, but they have to book an appointment and they have to pay before because
Mhm.
what's happened, Tanuj, in this community,
Oh
oh,
yeah, I
how
know.
about tomorrow? And I'm like, dude, like I could have had 3 clients in your place, right? And
Yeah, yeah.
you just decided not to show up. So my policy is no refunds and no, you cannot reschedule. You pay and either you show up or sorry. I gotten that bad because in the
I feel
people
you.
will take advantage of you.
Yep.
Anyway, Anush, where can we find you? And I'm gonna ask you to be on again. You know that.
Yes, yes. So you can find me at The Matrix Unveiled on YouTube, www.thematrixunveiled.com on the internet. The Matrix Unveiled on Instagram, Facebook. My private Facebook is also available. But also, if you want to come join the School of Mysticism, schoolofmysticism.mn.co, if you just go to my YouTube channel, you'll see a bunch of information about it. So that's where I teach people how to access these realms and how to tap into their multidimensionality and tap into their magic and everything. And I also do offer coaching, but I'm way more strict than Veronica. Like I only take 2 clients, and it's 6 months, and it's all in advance, and it's pretty expensive. So I'm very strict, but I have a pretty decent
Yeah.
audience. So that's just the way I do it. So if you want to apply for my coaching, go ahead. But this was such an awesome conversation. We talked about a lot of stuff we didn't talk about on air. um, but it was awesome to hear Veronica's stories and to share. So I'm super grateful to be on here.
Thank you, Tanush. I am very, very happy, like elated, like I don't know. I'm just really happy that I finally have a chance to see you here because I'm telepathic with you. I see you and I talk to you in my mind, but to have you actually on the show for other people to hear you, and listen to you. And how old are you, by the way?
I'm 22, so I'm
You
a young one, I guess you could say.
look older than that. Wow.
I
But,
do, yeah.
but we are all, we've been here so many times.
Well, if you're talking about soul origins, since before this Matrix was born, so we helped build the machine. So
Yeah.
that is like several millions of years.
I've been here 79 billion years, according to my twin flame. He and I, we were even together in the Victorian, and I'm not talking about the one that I was. Anyway, off air. We'll talk more.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Time doesn't really make sense
no,
to me. All I know is that I came before this machine
yeah,
that we're in right now, and you did as well.
yeah,
And I think a lot of people that if you're even watching this and you even are listening to this whole thing and you resonate, you probably were from outside the machine. That's
yeah.
the way I would put it.
Yeah. I'm in charge of securities and technology, so it's kind of like weird because I was talking to you earlier. I needed help with the Zoom thing earlier, and I'm like, why is it? Come on, Ricky, like tell me, why is it that I'm having a hard time here when I know everything out there?
That's because you know what? The technology that we use out there is
It's different,
interfaced
right?
with our consciousness,
Mhm.
and we just use our minds to
Yes,
signal
exactly.
it instead of here where you got to click all these buttons.
Yeah,
It's like monkey technology. This is monkey
exactly.
technology that we have
And
right
that's
here.
what they're trying to do right now is transhumanism is how we all do that in the astral and before this time machine, we built this machine. Um, we did everything like you said with our mind consciously.
But we
The
didn't need
whole
any implants. We could
right.
just connect to the
Right.
robotics.
And now that's what they're trying to do, but the whole agenda, and we're going to go right now, but the whole agenda behind that is control people. And
Yeah.
they want to take their God gene, they want to take God gene, they want to take their abilities so that way they can use them for another
Gotcha.
machine that they're building.
I like that. Yep. I really like that terminology. And yes, they are building machines within machines. And so I already know that they've already built a machine inside here. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
wondering if they already gone into the other realm and built a machine inside
Oh,
there.
Tanush, I see plenty of AI machines within
The
inner Earth,
machines.
outer Earth,
Mm.
and the solar system.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a bunch of webs, black webs, AI.
Oh, yeah.
There's a bunch of machines. Okay. So that's why
Yeah.
I tell people it's very important that you don't give away your power, because these machines are using the loosh, they're using the
Yep.
energy to build other machines to feed them. But right now they're building this huge machine that they're going to use what is it called? Not Nelnet,
Neuralink.
Neuralink, that one.
Yep.
That
I have
Neuralink is an AI god.
one of my clients, he has so much information. He's also part of SSP, and he has
What's his
so
name?
much information. His name is Lynn.
Oh, maybe
Lynn,
he can be on the next one with us.
yeah, he's kind of introverted, but like he was in our group community call. So like we have community calls in my school, and he was there and he was sharing a lot of info. And he's just such a great guy, and he's definitely part of SSP, and he's a big spirit. He's in Taiwan, and I'm sorry, buddy, if I'm sharing too much info about you, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share this video with my tribe and everybody that follows me, my school, everything. So we get you subscribers, we get you clients and everything, and people are following you, because you have a message and
And
people
you
need to
too,
know
Tanuj.
about.
Mhm.
Yeah, well,
And we're serving together and individually, like I talked. It's not a competition between you and me or
no,
anybody.
no, I never think of that anymore.
No, but the love and light community and some of the
I
SSP
know.
people. No, when I first came into the SSP family, man, I thought everybody loved me there. Oh, hell no, there's some haters there too.
Yeah, I've dealt with quite a bit of haters, and I love it because they feed me. And they're my most dedicated subscribers. They'll literally dislike the video
Yeah.
the second it comes out. I'm like, thank
Yeah.
you. You're helping my algorithm. Keep
Yeah,
pushing the
exactly.
videos. I'm getting more subs from you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate your dislike. Make sure you give me a dislike every time. I don't want you to forget. So turn those
Yeah.
notifications on and hit subscribe.
Thank you, trolls, for trolling
Yeah.
our channels.
Yeah. And I honestly feel bad for you though, because like something's feeding off of that loosh.
Yeah, I feel bad for them too.
So be careful about that,
Yeah, I always warn
this is a blast.
real quick, I always warn the CIA people that are watching me. I say, somebody's banging your wife while you're trying to track me.
That's so funny.
Okay, brother, I love you.
Thank
And
you
we'll
so
talk
much.
soon.
I love you too. I appreciate you.